Hi everyone, Love That He Sucked Tano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of this new Avril Lavigne record, Love Sucks. Yes, this is a brand new LP from singer and songwriter Avril Lavigne. She's back, or at least that's how it feels. You might remember Avril as one of Canada's greatest musical exports in the 2000s, the uncontested pop-punk princess. You know, despite being mostly written off by real punk fans during that era, during that point in time, a lot of Avril's older hits have aged astonishingly well and have proven to have a lot of staying power, especially during a time when chart-climbing pop-punk from 20 years ago is now back in style. Like, reliving this whole era aesthetically is the only reason why Machine Gun Kelly is so popular right now. If a resurgence in a genre is so powerful it can bring that guy's career to new heights, you know it's big. So, like I said, Avril has come back on this record, but in actuality she hasn't. In fact, she never stopped putting out albums, making a quick transition into more straightforward pop rock, electropop, and adult contemporary singer-songwriter stuff with her output in the 2010s, cause, you know, she grew up and matured. But that was her first mistake because it's not a phase, Mom! 20 years since the original release of Let Go, Avril is now undergoing a pop-punk reawakening. She's bringing back those crunchy riffs, the speedy tempos, and the kind of language we used to use at sleepovers when our parents went to bed. That being said, this record in so many ways does very much feel like a put-on, and not because I think like Avril's like a poser or a fake punk or anything like that. It's more because she's not really getting in touch with her roots as much as she is getting in touch with what we have in our heads as the vague idea of her roots. What I mean by that is there are tons of tracks on Avril's old stuff, especially her debut record, where they're not even punk tracks. They're just very dramatic rock ballads, singer-songwriter cuts that feel more indebted to Alanis Morissette than Joan Jett. Avril's older records weren't just wall-to-wall pop-punk ragers. Even on Under My Skin, when she knew very well what was kind of popping off with her hits and her singles and could have easily just like written 12 Skater Boys. The most punk single on that record, He Wasn't, was far from the most popular song on that LP. Freaking My Happy Ending? Are you kidding me? So to be clear and call a spade, Avril back in the day was more plugged into pop punk, I think, as an aesthetic than a music style, which isn't a bad thing. I'm just saying it makes this sudden turn into like the hardest fucking pop punk ever on this new record a little funny. Like the opening track Cannonball on this thing, I don't think an Avril song has raged so freaking hard. This thing sounds tighter, faster, punkier, and more badass, legitimately, than anything off the last Blink or Green Day record. Which, yeah, I know is not exactly a high bar to pass, but it does say something about aging pop punkers and who can still kind of pull the style off convincingly. But with this opener, we got the call and response vocals, the feedback, the bitter breakup lyrics, the way the riffs kind of slow down underneath the soaring anthemic chorus. It's by the numbers, but it's done well. But unfortunately, the honeymoon phase on Love Sucks is over pretty quick. The MGK feature on the following song, Boys Lie, is very tiring. Boys lie, but girls lie too. Like, I cannot take his couldn't be bothered affectation that he seems to approach every track with. I wish I could just like clip this out of the song entirely because it's not a bad tune overall. But the Black Bear feature on Love It When You Hate Me is even more obnoxious. The bars he drops like running out of fucks that I could give to you, but you could still be pretty on the inside too. Like, overall, I think in a lot of ways this is a better song. I love the tension-building verses on the track that in a lot of ways vocally and instrumentally feel like a legit callback to Avril's 2000s output. The segue into the punky chorus on this one is pretty much perfect. The highs, the lows, the yes, the no's, I love it when you hate me. Like, the chorus on this thing has burned itself into my head since the day I heard it, but man, does this weird emo trap passage that is forced into the whole thing feel very much like a how do you do fellow kids type moment. We get a few more decent ragers in the track list with Kiss Me Like the World Is Ending as well as the title track. Na na na, not another breakup. When I think of you, I just wanna throw up. With the cute pianos, I'm down for it. it. Even if some of the riffs on this thing sound like they were recycled from a Green Day record 20 years ago. But those boring adult contemporary vibes come back deeper into the record, specifically on this overblown, melodramatic, millennial ballad Avalanche, or as it's said on the song, Avalanche. Yeah, I'm really not so much into this Avril launch. It would be one thing if she was kind of mellowing out on a sound that was akin to the many ballads of her past records, but this one just feels like a residual headache from the 2010s. And this is not the only mellow misfire on the LP. There is also Dare to Love Me, which, what is this Lana Del Rey ass song? With the pianos and the cinematic strings and the super spacey intro. I mean, the finish is solid, but it just sounds really derivative. Despite the fact that Avril continues to be in the pop sphere, in my opinion, a really competent singer who delivers with a lot of conviction, this track stylistically just feels so out of place with everything else here. Now, I know we're not going into this LP with like the highest lyrical standards or anything, but you know, even the bars begin to trail off after the halfway point, like on the song Deja Vu. You're an asshole living in a castle. You think you're better than everyone. Asshole and castle is quite the rhyme. Buy a Range Rover just to run you over. It's a little edgy. Also, the line on this thing about acting your age, like, look, I know we're talking in this instance about, you know, the context of a relationship, but you, Mark Hoppus, Machine Gun Kelly, Travis Barker, Mod Sun, most of us listening, none of us are acting our age in this situation. Let's leave age out of it so we can just kind of vibe in this moment, huh? The last leg on this thing continues to pump out those pop punk bangers with a few decent moments. FU has as solid a chorus as any other highlight on this LP, and then All I Wanted features a kind of cool crossover with Mark Hoppus, which there is some vocal complementary chemistry here that I like, even if this song features one of the more overproduced instrumentals on the project. So even if there were some spots of this LP I found somewhat enjoyable, I have to be honest and say this record just scratches only one single itch, and it only does that all right, sort of all right. In one breath, you could say it lives up to its title in that it's one pop punk track after the next, where it's love sucks, I love you, I hate you, we're back together, oh, we're broken up, you suck, you lied, no, you lied, you make me sick. Grrr. Which is fun for a song or two, but gets kind of mind-numbing after a while, even just like a 30-minute period. Maybe this trend didn't last forever for a reason. Either way, it's back, and I think this is one of the more competent records in this resurgence, even if, again, the bar is a little bit low. Because now it's louder, the outfits are better, some of the tattoos are cooler, but it also feels a lot shallower, too. I'm feeling a strong 4 to a light 5 on this one. Transition, have you given this record a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best, you're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like. Please subscribe and please don't cry. Hit the bell as well. Over here next to my head, it's another video you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, Avril Lavigne, Love Sucks, forever.